Police robots. Robots are going to be used in law enforcement. We are going to see more and more robots assisting human police officers to help them do their job. Already, Boston Dynamics has built a robot that's like a dog. It looks like a dog, and it is actually assisting police officers with their duties. It's doing some of what police dogs do. It's actually going in and checking out an area that may be dangerous. It's giving the officers information. There are other companies like Nightscope that are building robots that can patrol shopping malls or industrial areas. And actually they're packed with sensors. They have cameras, they're listening, they're even monitoring Wi-Fi and cell phone reception so that they can know what people are around. If there aren't supposed to be any people around and they can detect that somebody's using their cell phone, bam, they know where to go and they know to send out an alert. Now, some of the early versions of these robots have actually been vandalized. Like teenagers see the robot and they want to see if they can trip up the police robot. So they do, they try to push it over or cause problems, but that's just temporary. In the future, we're going to see very sophisticated robots actually policing. There are a lot of problems, especially here in America. So with police officers, we're seeing a lot of violence against different minorities in the country. And the problems run really deep. It's not just people being prejudiced or racist. What it comes down to a lot of times is people under pressure, right? So you're a police officer, you're under a lot of pressure. You see somebody, you think they take out a gun and you just react or you overreact. Now, this problem is a serious problem. So what may happen moving forward is we may actually start to replace human officers, which are very fallible. Human beings are very fallible. Like, if we're in danger, if we sense we're in danger, our blood pressure goes up, we stop thinking clearly and start just acting. A robot, however, can deal with that situation in a much better way because the robot isn't afraid. The robot can be calm. The robot can analyze the situation. It can really make sure to determine if somebody is hostile, if they have a weapon, and then decide what to do in a calm and rational way. Unlike human beings, we get very excited. We're also going to see these robots put into very dangerous situations where humans don't want to go. Already in 2016, they had the first robot that ever went into a situation with a sniper. There was a sniper in Texas that had killed 5 people. So what they did is they took a robot, they loaded it up with explosives, and they sent it in because they didn't want to risk the officers, and they detonated those explosives and killed the sniper. So the first time a robot was being used inside the United States to actually kill someone. Will this be the future? This is a real question we have to ask. Do we want robotic law enforcement everywhere? And in these robotic law enforcements, do we want to make them lethal? That's the real question. The answer is we don't have to make them lethal. We can design very advanced robots that can walk in and actually restrain people without getting hurt themselves or suffering only minimal damage. So in the future, we may see robots that don't carry guns, that don't carry lethal weapons. They have nets, they have big pinchers with padding on them, so they don't really hurt the people. They can actually just capture them, immobilize them, and then we can bring them in for questioning or whatever it is we need to do with that suspect. There are also robots being used in our retail stores, in different locations, in businesses that can actually, through AI, start to determine what people will do next. So robots with the right AI, the algorithms can actually look at somebody, if they're in a shop, let's say, going through a shop, and they can start to determine whether that person is somebody who's going to buy a product or somebody who's going to steal a product. So they can actually, with pretty good accuracy, above 80% right now, detect shoplifters. And this really, right now, what's happening is the start of a trend. We're going to see robots that become very, very good at determining what humans will do. If they see a person wandering around a premise, just by looking at how they move, the robot will be able to to be able to figure out whether that person has good intentions or bad intentions. Are they there to vandalize, or are they there to see their friend? Then the robot can take action. A lot of times the robot will just alert police officers so they can come and take care of it. But in the future, the robot will do everything. It'll detect what the person is doing, and it will restrain the person, and it may even bring the person all the way into the jail. Today, we're also seeing drones, robotic drones, being used in law enforcement all the time because they're really good at if there's a car speeding, trying to get away, you can send up a drone or a series of drones over covering a large area to track that car, track it down. They're also being used in search and rescue. They're being used in crowd control. They're being used in all sorts of different situations. And we're going to see more and more of these flying robots, robots on wheels, robots that move about like dogs or people. These are all coming. I hope you enjoyed the talk. If you liked it, share it with your friends or subscribe to our channel. You can also come to founderspace.com and check out our 3-month online startup program, as well as my books, Make Elephants Fly, Surviving a Startup, and The 5 Forces. I'm also available on all the major social networks. Just search for Founderspace.